Today we're going to be doing another South Park vinyl record unboxing, this time on a relatively new release done exclusively for Record Store Day 2024, and this is the 25th anniversary concert set featuring music from the show creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone, along with Primus, who famously did the South Park theme song, and Ween amongst others. And the concert was a very popular event spanning across August 9th and 10th, 2022, and there were many surprises featured throughout, even for Trey and Matt themselves. It looked to be a very heartwarming, celebratory event that I am sure fans of the show, or longtime followers of Trey and Matt, generally speaking, would have really appreciated. And the soundtrack is available online for those curious, along with a recorded version of the live event, which is available to stream. This set, however, is the first physical release for the concert, and to be honest, I was kind of hoping that the event itself, the recorded version, would have been included as maybe a bonus feature on the Season 25 DVD. Unfortunately not, but here we are. This is a triple LP pressed onto Towelie Blue wax, as it's described, which I'm very intrigued to see what that looks like in person. And I was very excited to get my hands on this set, but holy shit was it a battle to obtain a copy. It's a limited edition of 5,500 copies worldwide. I got a very high number there, 5465 of 5,500. And I genuinely did not expect this to be so popular. Clearly an unfortunate oversight on my part, because I tried my local record stores on the day, and this set was sold out everywhere. I've heard some stores didn't even order any of these, thinking that they just wouldn't sell anyway, and stores that did have this available, they only ordered in a couple of copies, and it just looked very unlikely that I was going to score one for retail price. It was already reselling for treble figures on eBay, but luckily, after some intense internet browsing, I found a German website called Vinyl Digital that still had this in stock for retail, and it arrived a few weeks ago, mint condition from what I can see. And with that said, let's unbox this record set and take a closer look at the contents. Here it is out of the shrink wrap. Overall, great first impressions. The artwork on this looks absolutely phenomenal. Here's a look at the gatefold interior, where we have artwork taken from the original concert posters, and we have the album credits along with various shots from the live performances themselves, which is a very neat touch. With the Towelie related stuff, I believe this is in reference to Record Store Day being held on April 20th, or 420 if you're from the US, you get the idea.
You wanna get high?
And if you are looking to grab this set for yourself, secondary marketplace prices should hopefully calm down soon enough. With this being a relatively new set, and with the hype surrounding Record Store Day after a few weeks, prices usually do start evening out with the more people that try and resell. Patience is key, don't just freeze yourself because you're sick of waiting. Each record does have its own individual sleeve, which is a neat touch, especially with the individual artwork selected for each one. This one's my personal favourite for the first volume. I love this look for Kyle, and the very sort of trippy psychedelic colours, beautifully crafted in my opinion. And looking at the actual record itself, here is what the design looks like. All of them are the same apart from the centre sticker, and as it was mentioned, Towelie Blue wax, definitely getting some Towelie vibes off this, very reminiscent of this fluff.
You wanna get high?
No, we don't want to get high.
And then flipping this over, I do also appreciate how we have all the tracks listed and then all of the lyrics as well. So rather than giving us a lyric book, they're just printed straight onto the sleeves themselves. Again, great attention to detail with extra shots from the live performances. Split into 3 volumes, There's Magic Inside You is the intro sequence for the concert, even though I believe the first song they played was actually the next song on the album, Here Come the Bastards. And if you watch the recorded version, the animators did produce a short bit of pre-recorded footage with the main boys on there, and I loved the crowd's enthusiasm for Butters in particular. And speaking of Here Come the Bastards, this was kind of like a performing intro for Primus and Ween, showing their excitement for the celebratory performance ahead. Getting into the South Park specific tracks, there's so much to appreciate from these live renditions. And we begin with, honestly, one of my personal favourites, and that is Uncle Fucker, a classic from the South Park movie, and still, in my opinion, one of the funniest songs they have ever done. And then we move on to Montage from the Season 6 episode Aspen, a memorable one for sure. And then Jacking It In San Diego, which is a very catchy song from the season 16 anti-bullying episode, although I genuinely never understood the reference, which is ironic because neither does Stan in the episode. And apparently it's based on a viral incident from back in 2012 involving film director Jason Russell. He was arrested in San Diego for a public nude breakdown of all things. Definitely worth reading up on, and this track did also get a 7-inch single release in the form of a picture disc, which I would love to have in the collection one day. Some more movie-related tracks on side B. It's Easy MK is a favourite of mine for sure. I love seeing Trey do the Mr. Mackey impression. There's a great anecdote from an Australian TV interview, if memory serves, where Trey explains the origins of that voice. Again, that's worth checking out if you are interested.
The worst one is that he could so sue us, because I had a counselor, Mr. Lackey.
Then we have the South Park theme, which speaks for itself. This was a great listen with Trey and Matt explaining how they got Primus to record the original theme song, plus all of the changes and different iterations that it went through over the show's history. The Butters theme is adorable, paired with the hilarious Robot Friend song from the Awesemo episode. And of course, Blame Canada, arguably one of the most popular tracks from the South Park movie, and there's so much amusing history surrounding this track which is worth checking out. Here's a look at the artwork for the second volume. I love the coloration on this one in particular. As for the tracks on this one, beginning volume 2, we have what I would consider to be arguably the most wholesome and most meaningful song on the album, and as a huge thank you for 25 years of hard work together as creative partners, Trey surprised Matt on stage with a gift, and he managed to reunite the band Rush for the first time in over 5 years with a surprise performance, and Matt got to perform with Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson, and Matt was playing the drums for the track Closer to the Heart. An incredible performance, but seeing Matt's reaction to this really shows just how much this all meant to him. A couple more South Park specific tunes. We have Colorado Farm, where Randy's Tegrity Weed Farm began. I honestly still can't believe how long that joke has lasted on the show and that it's still going. But regardless, I can't knock the performance, and it's good to see Trey get the audience involved with singing back keywords to him. But perhaps a more iconic song for the show is Gay Fish, from the season 13 Kanye West episode. For sure, one of the most memorable songs and episodes from that era of the show. Ween steps it up with a couple of tracks of his own performed live, the first being The Mollusk, and I find it really surreal hearing him perform in particular, considering how his vocals are usually enhanced for his music. If you check out any live version of, say, Ocean Man, for example, you'll really see what I mean. It just changes the song, not in a bad way, but it is definitely noticeable and different. A unique take on an original Primus song. Originally Tommy the Cat, we now have Butters the Cat. And I'd honestly say this was one of the best tracks on the album. The bass throughout is incredible, matched with Matt voicing Butters for the vocals, just super uncanny, especially when he's just screaming at the lyrics. It just oddly works so well. And then another South Park classic, we have Let's Fighting Love from the Good Times with Weapons episode. Again, it was fun to see Trey getting the audience involved, deliberately getting the crowd to repeat arguably the most crass lyrics for comedic effect. Volume 2 ends with a more obscure track, which is taken from the first ever movie that Trey Parker did. That, of course, being Cannibal the Musical. If you've not seen it, I would highly recommend the film. It's definitely the comedy style of South Park. And the track itself, When I Was on Top of You, is actually about Trey's character in the film, Alfred Packer, singing about how much he misses his horse, Leanne. It's a very weird moment in the film, but it makes for, honestly, one of my favourite vocal performances from Trey for the 25th anniversary special. Just overall, very well put together, and definitely evoked a sense of wanting to go back and rewatch this movie. Here's a look at the artwork on the Volume 3 sleeve, and this one begins with another Ween track, which I really did enjoy, being Buckingham Green, which then leads us into more South Park related content, The Ballad of Lemmy-Wings, which is timeless. I'm sure fans will remember Lemmy-Wings, who went on the perilous journey up Mr. Slave's ass. Definitely a memorable episode, to say the least.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
A couple more iconic tracks from the South Park movie. This time we have Kyle's Mom is a Bitch. Definitely a personal favourite of mine. I love the harmonic backing vocals in this particular rendition, along with the back and forth between Trey and Matt, who are voicing Cartman and Kyle. For side B, we have What Would Brian Boitano Do, which is a classic about the Olympic figure skater who does actually embrace the South Park fame, and I love it when celebrities can not only take a joke, but when they feel as though they are actually part of it. It's always good. Then moving on, we have Burgers and Cum, which to be honest is a song that I completely forgot about. This is from the season 19 episode, You're Not Yelping, and it's hilarious how well this one actually worked for a live performance. And then ending with a track that couldn't really be any more appropriate in my opinion, a patriotic note. We have a rendition of America Fuck Yeah from the movie Team America World Police. And again, if you're a South Park fan and you haven't seen this movie, you are definitely missing out in my opinion. Overall, an incredible film and definitely the South Park style of humour. That's going to do it for this unboxing / discussion looking at the South Park 25th anniversary vinyl record set. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave me a like down below. Let me know in the comments what's your favourite South Park song. As always, I love hearing your thoughts and opinions. If you're interested, I have also done a video looking at the South Park movie soundtrack on vinyl. I'll put a link to that down below in the description. And for more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, DVD Review Studios.
Are you threatening me?